Today I'm going to show you my foolproof strategy, Ride the Wave, which consists of 3 easy steps to get you the best entries. I've backtested this strategy hundreds of times and it's proven to consistently get me results in the live markets. This strategy has nothing to do with ICT or smart money concepts, just exactly what you need to succeed in the markets. All right, so let's get straight into the strategy. So this strategy made me about $16,974 in 10 trading days. This was from between April 15th and April 25th. We had a 75% win rate with a 1.74 risk to reward. So here we can see in more detail, every trade has an expectancy to make $4,000. So in this case, we also had our largest loss being only 4K, with our largest win being around 10K. So the reason why it was a 1.74 risk to reward is because there is a 1 break-even trade in these statistics. If it wasn't for that break-even trade, this would be about a 2.5 or higher risk to reward. Let's actually get into the strategy itself. So how do you find a trade that fits along with the Ride the Wave foundation? And this is how you actually make money. So first of all, we have 3 rule-based steps to enter a trade. The good thing is that this takes out the guessing in your trading and you actually just have something that you can follow without any hesitation. So step number 1 is to see where the market is going. So I drew this here. You have your lower lows of the market and the lower highs in a bearish trend. This market in specific that I have drawn up here was bearish at one point. In order for it to be considered a bullish trend, and the first step of the strategy is that you need 2 higher lows to be formed for this to be a bullish trend. This is the first higher low. This is the second higher low. Right here, you have a higher high. This confirms the bullish trend. This right here is on the 1 hour time frame. I would recommend to do it on the 1 hour time frame. There's variations to where you can do this on even smaller time frames or larger time frames potentially. But in this case here, we're looking at the 1 hour time frame. Let's say price makes 1 higher low. I don't want to buy here because the market could still continue to go down in the bearish trend. That's why I wait for the extra confirmation for the market to come and do the second higher low to then continue bullish, because at this point the market has a much higher chance of continuing to the upside. So once you know where the market is going, we can move on to step number 2, which is waiting for a break above resistance. Specifically, you want to wait for a 4-hour candle to go above a resistance area. So what is a resistance area? It's a place where price stops going higher. As you see here to the left, price tried to go higher. It formed a bullish candle in this area, but the next candle was a red candle and price moved down from there. All that simply tells us is that price stopped going up at that area. Next time price breaks above that exact area, which is called a resistance, it has a much higher chance to continue to go in that same direction. That's exactly what we're looking for here with step number 2. And once price has broken above resistance, we can move on to step number 3. Step 3 is to go on the 1 hour time frame and you enter in on the pullback of the market. So what is a pullback? It's when price goes back to the previous area that we talked about in this slide right here. So in step number 2, price broke above resistance. In step 3, price retested that same resistance. A retest is the same thing as a pullback. A pullback is this, and a retest just means that it's coming into an area that has previously been held as a resistance. So once you have these 3 steps and you actually look for them perfectly, it's gonna work almost every single time. It's very simple. This is the way that the market moves. It will go from a bearish trend into a bullish trend, or vice versa. It will confirm that the market is trending by giving a series of at least 2 higher lows, or vice versa if you're looking to sell. It will confirm that price is ready to break above by breaking an area of resistance, by going above resistance, and it will confirm your entry point by retesting an area of resistance that it has previously broken above. So if you have 3 time frames that are showing you the same trend, in our example we're using the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily time frame, then you're going to have a very high likelihood chance of winning that trade. In this video, I'm going to show you examples of the strategy in action with live results. And at the end, I'll show you real examples of the strategy that I have traded. Something important I have to mention is that when looking for the retest in the market, you cannot just enter in the second that prices touches back that area. You cannot just enter the second that the price retests the area. It needs to give you some type of confirmation that the market is going to hold that area and continue to go up. So what I mean by that is if we look here at these candlesticks, the trade ideally would be taken right here upon this candle closing. It would not be taken right here when the candles first start to touch into this area of resistance. No. The reason why you need to wait for this confirmation is because we don't know if it's actually going to hold until we have clear evidence that it's going to. So what you want to wait for is some type of confirmation like that. Price pulls back stock gives you an engulfing candlestick or a big candlestick rejection to the downside, as you see here, then you can enter in your trade, assuming that the market's going to continue to go up. But waiting for a confirmation is extremely important. And that's exactly what I'm going to go show you right now in the live charts. All right, so right here, we're going to be doing a back test. I've started this account with a 100K current balance. So that's what we're going to be doing this test with. And right here, I've come to a place where the market has came into a 1 hour area of resistance, and price looks like it's going to break above this resistance here soon. What I'm going to do is first have this area of resistance marked off. So now that it's drawn on my chart, I can simply know exactly what I'm looking for, which I'm looking for step 2 in the strategy that I taught you in the beginning. So we're looking for a break above here, and then eventually step 3, which is going to be a retest of the same area to then take buys. I'm going to show you a live example because now we can show what type of confirmations also to enter in off of, and not just the theory behind it. So as you see right here, we're going to move one candle forward just to make things go quicker. So price still hasn't broken above, and now price is breaking above. So now all we simply need to do is wait for a retest into this area and see if price is going to hold this area before going back up. Because if it is going to do that, we want to take a buy there. Okay, right there, it just retested off of support, and this is how the 1 hour candle closed. So because we have a big rejection to the downside, this is going to be the confirmation for me to enter in going long. The confirmation is the fact that it rejected the bottom and left a big wick to the downside. All right, so for this one, I'm going to put a 2% risk. I'm going to go ahead and enter in on this position. All right, so the currency shows up in Japanese yen. Once the trade plays out, we'll see down here what the actual result of the trade was. So let's go ahead and play out how this would work. All right, as you see, this one went straight into almost the area of take profit. I'm going to let this one play out because I'm pretty sure it should go higher. And boom, exactly. So yeah, as you see, that one risking 2% made us about 4.3% on the account. We'll show the full results at the end, but that's going to be the first position essentially. All right, as you see here, the market is consolidating a bit. So this is another part of the strategy, which is extremely important, and it's not to be overlooked. If the market is not showing you a clear trend, make sure to avoid trading the market. This is going to happen a lot because the market only has 3 total phases. It can either be on an uptrend in a range, which is what you see here, or on a downtrend. You want to avoid trading when it's in a range just like this one and just simply wait for it to break out. The good thing is it's very easy to spot. It's just a market going up and down with no clear direction. This is why traders lose money. It's not because of catching these easy trades. Anyone can catch these winning trades. That's the easy part. The hard part is remaining psychologically and emotionally strong to stay out of the market when it's consolidating. All right, so as you see, price did not retest into the exact area that I wanted to trade from. So I'm glad that this happened here live so you guys can see, the strategy, as good as it is, it's not going to work out every single time. Sometimes the market will miss your area of entry by a couple of pips, and then you'll end up not being able to take a trade. It is what it is. I wanted to take a buy there and it didn't come, but I'm glad that this happened here so you guys can see this firsthand for yourself. When you go back test this on your own, when you go trade this on your own in the live markets, if that happens, don't think that you're making a mistake. That's part of the game. So now the market continued up. I think I'm going to switch into a different pair so we can get some fresh price action and get some fresh analysis going on. So let's start off by identifying the trend of the market. It's down. All right, so price at this area of support, looking for a break below. And now that price has broken below, we're basically looking for an entry confirmation that it's going to hold off of this resistance. I want to see it reject. Right now, this bullish candle wouldn't allow me to look for a buy. I need to only sell once price gives me clear evidence that it's going to reject. There you have it right there. Place the stop probably right above this area of resistance, and I'll place a larger take profit for this one, risking 2% of the account. It shows here that the stop loss is 2,000 and the take profit is 4,600. So let's play out how this will look. Beautiful rejections, and the market is now continuing in the bearish trend down. This was more so of a risky trade because we had such a big move down, but in general, we followed the strategy and then now we just hit profit target. So that's another 2.5% secured right there. And now the account's literally up to 109,000. Wanted to show you the daily time frame was trending downwards strongly, and the 4-hour time frame was also trending downwards very strongly. So we have a combination of all of these separate time frames all showing us the same thing. That's essential for this strategy, and that's what gives us such a huge edge over the markets. The fact that we're able to align 3 different time frames in the same direction is what helps us out so much. All right, so what I'm seeing here is that we have this major area of resistance up at 1.07900, and we see exactly what I showed you earlier in the slideshow. So if you guys remember this, notice how we go here from a bearish market into a bullish market. What's the criteria? You need 2 higher lows for it to be a bullish trend. It looks exactly like this. Notice how that's exactly what's happening here. We have this first low down here. This is where the market changed from being bearish into being bullish. Then we have this higher low and this higher low. This one's slightly higher than this one. And then we have this major area of resistance I'm seeing up here because it's also a 1.08 psychological level. All a change of structure really means is that we went from being bearish to now potentially starting to be bullish. So I'm gonna wait and watch for a break above this area. It's that simple. I want to see if we can get a break above this area. I already see this as an entry confirmation. And the reason why is because price is respecting the area of support, which is step number 3 in our strategy. I'm going to go ahead and enter in long here. You know what? I'm going to have a bigger take profit here because I see here to the left that we have this area of resistance. So I'm going to place my take profit all the way up there to give me a 2.5 reward against risk ratio. So I'm going to play this out. I have no idea if it's going to play out, but I think it should continue to go bullish here. And just based off of, before we let this play out, based off of the daily, look at this daily time frame. It's beautiful the way that we've been bearish for such a long time. I want you guys to really see this. We've been going down for so long. And now all of a sudden the market is making 5 bullish daily candles in a row. Isn't that trying to tell us something? Isn't the fact that we just broke above a daily resistance trying to tell us that now the market should trend upwards? That's what it tells me. But I want you guys to just see how that change of structure can pretty much tell you where the market's gonna go. Let's play this out and let's see what happens. I think if this trade loses, it's because of the market coming down one more time to pull back before going bullish. As you see, we're in drawdown right now. Also, this backtest is over a year ago, so I have no idea what happened in Euro USD that long ago. I'm gonna speed it up a bit. Okay, so it's actually, boom, there you go. So it actually hit our take profit. Now I forgot to place the buy on this. I mean, we could just say for, if we're being conservative, that we made around 2% on this, but because it didn't take it, we're still at the $109,000 equity. That's fine. Like I said, this strategy will have a pretty high win rate. Like I said here, if you follow everything perfectly and the market actually looks the way that I'm showing you here, where price goes from a trend to another trend, you confirm it by having at least 2 higher lows. Price breaks above resistance, retests it, and then gives you an entry confirmation. The market will do it most of the time. As you see, it seems like there was some news or something when this happened, and I was unable to catch an entry here, just simply because instead of making a small rejection candle, it just made a huge candle to the upside. So this is also the reality of it. Sometimes you may not be able to catch the entry. All right, so right here, I see a retest coming soon. Price just broke above here. I'm gonna go candle by candle to make sure I don't miss it. But I think the second price, okay, perfect. We just tapped into this area. No idea what's gonna happen here, but it looks like we're tapping into the area. We're starting to go bullish. This was a bearish market that turned into a bullish market, and I'm really liking the way that this is setting up here. Let's move one candle forward. Okay, that's not a bad confirmation, but let's wait for one more. All right, so that's a great confirmation right there. And now I'm gonna enter in confidently on this setup. Let me actually place the trade this time. Guys, as for the trade frequency, the reason why my trade frequency has been so low on this backtest is because I'm staying on one forex pair at a time. The idea behind this strategy is not to trade one forex pair at once. That's why I've had to skip forward for weeks and weeks and weeks to find just one trading setup, because this whole back test has only been on Euro USD and I started it on GBP JPY. If I were able to look at the live markets with my 20 forex pairs, like I usually do, I would be taking approximately 2 trades a week, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes just 1. Great trading setup per week. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see what happens here. So price is starting to go down. This one may not play out if it holds this as resistance. All right, so this trade, yeah, this one did not play out. So, but we only lost 2%. Notice how we won 2 trades, lost 1. Technically, I should have won another one, but I just forgot to press buy here. And we're still up $7,000. If that doesn't show the power of the strategy, then I don't know what does. The fact of the matter is that if you take 3 trades and you win 2 out of 3, you're always going to be in profit. You're making $4,000 to $4.6 thousand on each and every winning trade, and you're only losing $2,000 per loss. That's risk to reward. That's the sign that it's a good strategy. Even if you were 50-50 with the market, you're still making money. And if you can make money consistently, I don't care if you only take 1 or 2 trades a week. You can get funded accounts. You can find any type of way to increase your capital. But the point is that with this system, you're consistently making more than you're losing. As long as you follow everything correctly, and as long as you don't like basically mess it up by a lack of discipline, this is what the results that we're talking about. I'm in a real live trade right now based off of this strategy. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you right now. So this trade right here, I'm looking for a massive movement down. The market's most likely going to. It's most likely going to continue to go down. It's exactly what I talked about in the beginning of this slideshow. Literally look at this right here. Notice how the market's going down and then the market goes up. It's the exact same thing that I'm taking on my AUD CAD trade right now. We are bullish at one point and then the market switches to being bearish. I have entered in sells and I'm looking for the continuation to the move down. I'm pretty sure this move is going to play out. And even if it doesn't, I have plans on how I'm going to scale out in profit. And now my risk has been reduced significantly on this trade. My stop loss is now down to only 37 pips. For reference, I'm looking for a 168 pip take profit. That's a risk to reward of 1 to 4.5, which means for every $100 that I'm risking, I'm looking to make $450. And that is how this strategy right here can help you become extremely successful at trading the markets. You just need to be disciplined enough to wait for step 1 to occur, for step 2 to occur, and then for step 3 to occur. And you have to be patient the whole time. If you skip one of these steps, then the odds are not going to be in your favor as much as if you follow each one of these steps. So that's essentially the strategy. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Also make sure to watch this video that popped up on the screen right here that will help you make this click a whole lot better. I'll see you in the next one.